The more we travel, the more desire I have to travel. It's a bit of an addiction if I'm being honest, which made me realize just how selfish travel is. Maybe it's a negative way at looking at something so incredibly fulfilling, but wherever we go, we're taking. Taking in the scenery, the culture, taking in the local food, and the hospitality of those who we stay with along the way. I guess what I'm saying is there's not a lot of giving on the part of the traveler. It's more about your unique experiencing of everyone else's regular life. Of course, we try to offset this as much as we can, both with my ability to fix things and Mama Ox's crazy passion for organizing other people's homes, but somehow it never feels like enough. I often wish I had more of a desire for some kind of humanitarian outreach, but the reality is I haven't found that thing that inspires me to the service of others. So, as we travel the path we're on, I guess in some ways for me, it's not just an opportunity to disconnect from our life, but a path I'm on to find where I can use my abilities to make the planet we travel a better place. But maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I'm Jason, a wild adventurer, and this is my better half, Francesca. She's pretty much the glue that holds this little family together. Marley is my firstborn, and a little too smart for her own good if you ask me. Jax is my boy through and through. There's not a tree too tall or a trail too tough for this little adventurer. So this is the OXFamily, and the story of an ordinary family wandering this amazing planet in search of extraordinary places. When it comes to life on the run, we've learned that things change moment to moment, and you never quite know where you're going to be at the end of the day. But we had a long day of ancient history as we explored Colorado's Mesa Verde, and then we were off to the Ozark National Forest by way of the Great Sand Dunes, or at least that's what we thought.
Hey everybody, we're at Mesa Verde in Colorado.
All I want is your name on my door. Don't back down. You know what we have found. I'm begging you, color me in. Let me be yours. You say you take my fears away. I'm so high, I don't know what to do. Everything's the same, but everything has changed. Nothing's happened till I've shared it with you. Don't back down. You know what we I'm begging you, color me in. Let me be yours. Everyone watching us knows, and you make me wait. Make me wait. Let me be Don't back down. You know what we have found. I'm begging you, color me in. Color me in. Color me in. Let me be yours. Let me be yours.
Typical of 2020, most of Mesa Verde was closed to the public the day before we got there. So aside from some of the outdoor exhibits and seeing the cliff dwellings from a distance, we weren't able to see a whole lot. Ancient structures never ceased to amaze me, and none more than the cliff-dwelling Indians of Colorado. I grew up around building and was a carpenter myself, so seeing the lengths they went to create not just a cliff village, but a whole community that stretched for miles down the ravine they were carved into, humbles any urge I have to brag about my building accomplishments. So disappointing as it was, we loaded up, strapped in, and took off in search of Colorado's not-so-great sand dunes.
Leave the skyline, heading back to old times. Like the pipe up to feel like I'm doing fine. Chase space with whatever I'm chasing. Anything to leave my head where the mistakes feel like a lesson. And my mind is clear of the mess I'm in. Chase space with whatever I'm chasing. Anything to leave my head.
Okay, so understand, our home is in Oregon, whose coast is known for their sand dunes, and where you can not only camp on them, but it's one of the only places in the US that I know of that you can truly and legally drive off-road. Now, I blame myself for not doing a bit more research on what the Great Sand Dunes offered, but that said, by the time we arrived, we realized that if we skipped it, we'd not only get back on our original schedule, but it'd give us a little extra time somewhere that wasn't a disappointment, the Ozark National Forest. So we stretched our legs, took a deep breath, and headed east until the sun slipped away and the road got the best of us. Alright, so we just got into Dumas, Texas, and we got to the Great Sand Dunes, and it wasn't quite what we were thinking it was, and we needed to make up some time anyway, so we thought we'd straight shot it all the way to the Ozarks. So this is kind of a stop-off point, and we'll make the rest of the way tomorrow. But yeah, we decided to stop off in a hotel and shower up because we haven't showered in quite a few days, and yeah, just try to regroup and relax for the evening. It's 10:30 now, so more like get a good nice rest here. But anyways, yeah, so we're gonna continue on to the Ozarks tomorrow.
Wanna be free of this heart, yeah. Wanna feel your arms around.
The good thing about Texas is gas was only $1.69 a gallon. Crazy. So
Super cheap. Worth coming back through here just for the gas, I think. But yeah, we're hitting the road and headed to the Ozarks. We stayed in a little hotel last night, and so yesterday we got, it was about a 3.5 hour drive, and we got to the Great Sand Dunes, and it wasn't quite what we were thinking, and we had some time to make up, so we looked at it and then turned and headed in the direction of the Ozarks, because I really want to go to the Ozarks. That's like one of my bucket list items. We were there during the summer, but they said come during fall because it's amazing with all the colors of the leaves changing and all that good stuff. So it's kind of a long 8-hour drive, but other than that, it's a great beautiful day here in Dumas, Texas, and
Everything is going just great. I think about you a lot. It's almost like I can't stop. Can't stop. Yeah, yeah. I always knew that this would happen. Yeah. You would find a new distraction. I need you more, need you here, more than I would like to admit. Can we let go of tomorrow?
it'd been a long couple of days and almost 18 hours behind the windshield, but we were in the Ozarks and not a moment too soon. After almost 1,000 miles in their car seats, we were about to have a backseat mutiny on our hands if we didn't let the kids burn off some energy and get them some food. Alright, it was a long drive yesterday and today, but we finally made it to the Ozarks, and Dad's happy about that because I've been wanting to be out here forever, ever since we came out here for the Oregon Trail trip, and I get to bring the family out here to check it out. So this is one of my favorite places that I've been overlanding. It's out here in the Ozarks, and I feel like it's kind of a hidden secret. And maybe we're blowing it up, but it's amazing out here. So we're gonna go to, I think it's called Shore Creek Lake, for our first night, and chill out there and see what it's all about. And then from there, I don't know. Yes.
Wait. That drive was almost 8 hours. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I called my friend Kim and talked to her, which was nice. Called my mom, listened to 2 podcasts. Yeah, it was good.
Meanwhile, I sat in the passenger seat and edited. We've kind of figured out this system to where I don't have to spend so much time away from the family editing. If we do my editing in the truck, which isn't like ideal, but I make it work. And, you know, the sacrifices you make to bring you guys good old-fashioned entertainment. By the way, the solar situation is figured out thank you to Zamp. And what a burden lifted that I don't have to worry about the power anymore. That is, in my book, a victory. So thanks, Zamp.
I'll take this and
Those are mine. Get off of them. It is always a little weird when you come to a forest that's like not kind of your home type forest. And I kind of freaked Mama Ox out.
He freaks me out. He goes, shh, there's something in the woods.
No, I said shh. I think I hear something.
I hear something, which means there's something in the woods coming for us.
But fortunately, we brought bait. So, sorry, Oops. But I think you're going to be the sacrificial lamb for this family.
He's like,
Huh?
I'll do that.
Like, huh? Yuki is 14 years old, has lost so many teeth he can't keep his tongue in his mouth, and has more war stories than a World War II vet. And that's no joke. He's been eaten by a dog, he's been ran over by a truck, he's been stuck in a hole, he's been pinned behind a refrigerator. All true stories. Crazy dog. But now he's 14 and a half, probably almost 15 years old, and he still acts like a pup. So, we love him.
A bucket list. It's a term that gets tossed around quite a bit, but I doubt that most of us using it have really taken a serious account of the things we want to accomplish before we kick the bucket. I can tell you mine's a whole lot emptier than I'd like it to be. Sure, there's a few things in it, get my black belt in jiu-jitsu, learn a second language, and of course travel through Asia, but the reality is until now, I've never put a whole lot of thought into it. The things I say are in it, like visiting the Ozarks in fall, are haphazardly tossed in at best, and most miss the bucket altogether. I guess what I'm saying is, although we take the term for granted, it is important, a bucket list. It reminds us now of all the things we'd regret had we not accomplished them by the time we meet our date in destiny. I guess it's like Lucas from the movie Empire Records so aptly stated, I do not regret the things I have done, but those I did not do.
take this anymore. Cannot take this